So I'm currently at a beach in Brookings, Oregon, and I'm road tripping back from Washington State to Iowa, and a lot of things have been coming up for me. This is day 3 of my travels now, and I really wanted to talk to everyone about it because I think that it will help me, and it could maybe help someone else who might be dealing with similar things. So this starts with a story. Okay. So when I was 3, my dad died in a helicopter crash on the Big Island of Hawaii, and it was on Father's Day. So that was another little meh. But this event has shaped my life a lot. It has really dictated everything and has put me on the path that I'm on right now. And my whole life I've dealt with this immense guilt and regret and shame for being alive. And even though I wasn't a part of the crash, I felt like I was, and I felt responsible, and I carried around this belief with me that it was my fault that my dad died. And that was an incredibly, horribly bad thought for a 3-year-old to have growing up and to believe. And that shaped my reality. Is I make people die. That was my thought. People love me and they die. And I think that that's partially also founded on the last words that we said to each other were, "I love you." And so it was also over a phone call. Oh, things are making more sense now as I'm saying them. But yeah, so since then, I've had extreme separation anxiety and death anxiety involving particularly my mom, but also literally everyone, like anyone. It used to be really bad. So after my dad's death, I actually had a white streak in my hair. I had severe PTSD, and that's a really rare thing to happen, the white streak in your hair thing. But it's a thing that happens, and it happened to me, and I was really traumatized. I had this wall put up. I was so depressed and sad and angry. I was infuriated. Anyways, I was mad and sad and emo as shit and young, and I was so afraid my mom would die. Every time she left, I thought she was dead. Every time I couldn't see her, I thought she was dead. Then when I got a phone, it got kind of worse, because then if I didn't call her, or if I called her and she didn't answer, she was dead. If she didn't come home on time, she was dead. If she didn't, literally any situation in which she could have died, I thought of constantly, and I would spiral. I would lose my mind. I saw a therapist for a long time where literally us taking steps to separate me from her were her literally taking a step back, because she would walk me up to the kindergarten door, and she would walk me up to the literal door, and there was steps leading up, and so the therapist would be like, "Today we're just going to take one step back." So we literally took it step by step. And I got slightly better over time. I wasn't able to have sleepovers at people's houses for a long time, a really long time. And then when I moved, that was hard. I'd learned how to cope with it better at that point, but at the same time, it's still really relevant. And it's not even just with her too, it's with everyone. Which I already said, but hey, Spider, I would not build a web there. I don't think that's smart, buddy. You're gonna fly away when I drive. Oh, well, let him do what he wants, I guess. My jaw hurts. Where was I? Death. Oh yeah. One time, my friend was supposed to come over, and he didn't, and then wouldn't answer his phone. And so I lost my mind. I actually left and drove to his house and did a drive-by, because I was calling him, I was texting him. I called the hospital, and I was like, did someone come in by this name? They were like, no. And I was like, cool. It was not the first time I've called the hospital to see if people have like gotten into crashes and come in and other things, or like checked the news, or just like, I lose my mind sometimes. And so, yeah, then I went and did a drive by his house and he was there. But that's the kind of, like, I am terrified of death. Like, I am so afraid of it. And I'm so afraid that the people I love are going to die. And the thing is, that is the life we live, is that they will. They're gonna die. And with me being far away now, like leaving my mom again, if anything happens, it's gonna be a phone call. She got a phone call from my dad. And if anything happens to anyone, it's most likely gonna be a phone call. And so when my phone rings, I'm afraid a lot, because I don't know if it's that phone call. And someone close to me just had someone die. And it was a phone call. And so I'm like working through it, but I was feeling today very stuck in this bubble of fear and of pain. And, yeah. And so, yeah. And there are like people right now where like, God, I just, like, if someone doesn't respond to me, I think they're dead. Like, I genuinely freak out. Like, my heart stops. Like, I try to astral project to them. I try to make sure everyone's okay. Like, I'm terrified of losing people. I think that's really it. And this is based on a belief in separation, and a belief in the concept that we are separate individual beings that are not truly united, which isn't even what I actually believe, but I guess it is. This is where I think cognitive dissonance is coming in, because I have this belief that in our core, in our not even just, I mean, and in our everything there is wholeness. There's unity in every part, and that unity is brought together by the single point of fixation, the single point of creation that expands and expands and grows and has created the world that we live in and the world that I love, but the world I'm so scared to walk on. And within this division, there is unity. That's how creation was able to experience itself, was by separating. But at the same time, if in a separate world where our perception is individual, me seeing this, I'm looking at myself on a camera right now, and I'm looking at the beach behind the camera, and I'm looking all around me, and my perception is so instantaneous that I can't even fully experience it in the moment. I'm just experiencing my memories of it. And our memories are really just what we create. They're illusions. And you watching this, you are an individual who's also an aspect of creation, who's also whole, who is also perceived as separate. And you're having your own experience watching this. And we're all having our own experiences. And it's just this beautiful, chaotic, wonderful story. And I don't know how it ends, or how it began. And there's all these theories and these ideas and these concepts, and some of them really resonate with me and I agree with them, and others not so much. But it's really just wondering. And the experiences I've had with spirits and entities and demons and other those are all long stories, but if you want to hear them, let me know. But the whole shebang, I know that these bodies are not it. I have absolutely no doubt in that. So I feel like when people die, it's selfish of me to actually be upset, because it's just like my physical self lost their physical self. I don't know how to feel. And I have really bad attachment issues, like really, really bad attachment issues. I feel like I love so completely that I'm terrified of loss, but at the same time, I feel like complete love understands that loss isn't really ever actually a thing. We can never lose what we have, and we always have love. And everyone is love, so we always have everyone. But it's hard with this perception, and with the way we see things and view things and hear things. It's hard. And there are these meditations and these instances and times in which I see that we are connected. When I see a grid made within the stars, and sometimes I can see everything fractal out in front of me, and things get slow, or little orbs in my vision, or the static. It's kind of clear. No, it's not. Yeah, my vision's static. Sometimes it gets clear, but when I look, everything's just moving particles. Everything's moving particles. We're all energy, and we're always moving and moving and moving and moving. So that stillness, what is it? What does it mean to be still, truly still? Is that what wholeness feels like? I don't know. And so what I'm going to focus on now is growing. And growing from the sphere, and growing to love the excitement that the sphere brings, and the excitement to be alive and be experiencing this, and the wonder of, oh, what's going to happen next? Because I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in this moment. I don't know what's going to happen to the people around me, and the people I'm talking to, the people I'm not talking to. I don't know. And I surrender to that. I surrender to the all-knowing and to the unknowing, and to my super consciousness, which is making up this whole story. And I, even though my faith has been wavering, I have faith in myself, and faith in creation, and faith in love. And I'm choosing to rest and embody that faith and embody that love. And I feel better. And I hope that in this moment you are embodying the love that you are, and that you are able to dance through the day in your wholeness and in your oneness, and in recognizing the beauty in your individuality. I love you, and if you ever want to reach out to me, please do so. I hope that you have a magical day.